Whoopee! Way cool! Whoopee!
Alright, this is Earthworm Jim 2 for the Sega Genesis. If you guys remember, not too long ago I did review the first Earthworm Jim game on the Sega Genesis, and this is an awesome game just as it was. I mentioned it came out first on the Genesis and then got ported to the Super Nintendo, which was a surprise to me. And in a similar vein, in the dates this came out, actually in Europe first. This game came out in December of 1995 for the European Sega Mega Drive. And then in 1996, it came out over here for the Sega Genesis. Also, of course, on the Super Nintendo, DOS, got ported to the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn, and eventually even the Game Boy Advance and Wii Virtual Console. And of course, just like the first one, this game was developed by Shiny Entertainment and designed by David Perry. And David Perry did a lot of the well-known Genesis games. I mean, Aladdin, Cool Spot, Global Gladiators. David Perry was even quoted once for saying that he could do faster and smoother animation on the Sega Genesis. Like the original game, this is just full of top-notch animation. You almost wonder at times if this is one of those games that exceeds the Genesis's 64 on-screen color limitation. And there were some games, that used some programming tricks to actually go beyond 64 colors on screen. This is definitely, as the first one was, one of the best looking games on the Genesis. It's also one of the best sounding. I mean, the music is awesome. There's a ton of digitized sound effects and voices. The music in this one, like in the first one, was composed by Tommy Tallarico, who is, of course, famous for video game music.
Well done.
Like I said, lots of digitized voice and sound effects in this one. And lots of different levels. In this level here, you're basically using the dirt. You have to, plow your way through the dirt, and as it falls from the roof to the floor, you raise up. And basically in this level, you just work your way up. Continuously work your way up. And, eventually get to the boss at the end of the level. Here you can use your snot sling, which is pretty neat. That was in the first one as well, but if there is one, common complaint in this game, is that there's not enough boss fights. At the end of the first level, there was no boss at all. So here we are coming up to the first main boss of the game, and there's really not enough boss fights in this game. And here, this level's just completely bonkers, and basically you're carrying this giant marshmallow around, and you have to bounce these puppy dogs and not let them splat on the ground. And of course, it gets harder and harder as you go. If you splat 4 puppy dogs on the ground, the dog at the end here, who's collecting them, he gets mad and basically he attacks you, taking away pretty much half of your life. And eventually he'll throw a bomb, and of course you definitely want to catch the bomb. The dog will throw it back, and that's how you actually attack the boss here and eventually beat the level. One thing I do want to point out in this level is take a look at the ground as the camera pans from the left to the right, and you'll see, you know, from the foreground all the way from the fence, with the parallax scrolling on the fence, but then on the ground, and you actually look at the texture on the ground, you know, the little rock, you know, pathways, and as this pans from left to right, that whole ground is actually, you know, shifting its perspective. And then the buildings on the left and the right, if you look at the inside of the building, the angles actually change on the buildings, so there's a ton of, you know, pretty complex 3D, you know, depth tricks going on in this level. And once again, the next level, completely different gameplay. Here we're playing as like a amoeba, a little swimming worm thing. I guess we're supposed to be like a tapeworm. And you can see he's even holding his little gun. And for some reason, inside of whatever the heck we're supposed to be inside of, there's, you know, pinball bumpers bouncing around all over the place. And the odd little enemy that you have to use your weapon on. Yeah, here it's sort of similar to the water level in the first Earthworm Jim. It's very hard to control your guy, you know, gravity wants to pull him down and he swims up really slow, and, you know, hitting the sides hurts you, so, you know, it's basically just a maze you gotta get through without hitting the sides. And you know, there's a lot of little secret things you can try and get, and they'll usually be wedged in, you know, really tight with a bumper in the wall, making them really hard to get. Now when you get to the end of this, you go to this game show, and it just asks you the weirdest questions. I mean, once again, this is just in here for fun, I guess? I mean, first of all, the words in the questions are being generated by a worm being grinded in a grinder, which is just so strange. And these questions make no sense. I mean, most of the questions are just trick questions. I mean, I guess you'd have to trial and error and get through with all the right questions. What happens when you get through with all the right questions? I have no idea, because I bomb out here. And you continue. I mean, it's not game over or anything, so it's obviously just like a bonus. As is this. Here we have like a Simon Says, you know, memory game where you have to hit the bumpers in order. You know, it starts off really easy with, you know, it adds one beat to the end of each round until you end up with this long sequence. And, you know, here I thought I was doing alright, but I managed to screw it up right at the end. You know, but once again, this is just like a bonus thing. If you fail it, you still continue with the level. Just weird levels in this game. You know, a lot of bonus stuff, and, you know, a lot of bonus items to pick up. And there we go, we beat the level. And wouldn't you know it, the next level, completely different gameplay style. And here we're flying on a ship. We can reverse the ship, go backwards. We also have the guns on the ship. We need to avoid getting hit. And, you know, these pigs, they launch pigs at you with catapults. It's the weirdest thing. And then the pigs latch onto you. You want to get the pigs off because they're doing damage to you. I'm too stupid to figure that out quite yet. So I've got this pig leeching off me. Now you need to get the bomb all the way to the end of the level where the boss is. And then you can shoot the bomb and it blows up. Now, you don't want to accidentally shoot the bomb on the way there, because it'll blow up, and you'll have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level and get the bomb again. So, this level's pretty hard. It's kind of a cool isometric view. Yeah, I did lose a few lives in it, as you can see. Finally got the bomb to the end boss, and that's how you defeat the boss. I mean, you just shoot the bomb, it explodes, and you're done. So, I mean, that's all you gotta do is get the bomb to the end of the level and blow it up, but it's harder than it seems. And overall, I mean, this is just an awesome game. The graphics, the sound are absolutely top-notch on the Sega Genesis. It's on a lot of different systems. It's a great game. Definitely check it out.